back to the channel and welcome back to another video on the 1994 Acura Legend Sherwood Green GS 6-speed manual. This car has been over a year in the making. I picked it up in late 2022 and it took a while to get to this point. I'm happy to report that of the 70 or so checklist items on my list, I probably have about all except 10 of them done. This car, as it sits today, it's not going anywhere. It's sitting on jacks for 3 of 4 corners because the wheels are at the refinishing shop. It also has no steering wheel because the steering wheel is out for some customization in Texas. So this car unfortunately will not be driving for a few weeks, which gives me a good chance to edit some of my existing footage and see if I have enough to come up with an episode here for you. And I'm excited to show you the progress in what took place since the last time we checked in on this car. So let's get into it. It's a rainy day, but I got the car back from Top Shop and this carpet looks awesome. So maybe a little darker tone than the previous set used to be, but super happy with the install, especially considering it's a universal kit. So you kind of do what you can with it, but it looks awesome. So that was also quite fun, riding the Moto Compacto down here in the rain. And also, I forgot, I have the windshield wiper arms at home getting refinished. So I'm driving this thing home a couple miles with no wipers, no working seat belt, a seat that's not bolted in. What else could possibly go wrong? Also planning on figuring out what's going on with the brake light indicator illuminated. I'm pretty sure that has to do with how I added the spoiler with a third LED brake light and the other one is now bypassed, so I got to figure that out. And then the TCS light is also on. I'm gonna dip into that at some point later as well. I'm so irritated right now. The birds at that shop, the car was parked outside for a bit and got an issue with the paint blemish in the hood here. I'm sure it'll come out, another one down here, but gosh, a brand new paint job. Unbelievable. Gonna work on purple tint removal now. This was the donor door, and I can't stand looking at this color anymore, so gonna work on this a little bit right now. Yeah, this is gonna take me forever. I'm trying it with can't get it to focus there, with a little blade as well as some goof off spray, and it's just coming up in little itty bitty strips. So I think I'm going to take this to my actual tint guy, Omar's Window Tinting, to see if he can rip this off real quick. It's actually, you can't see here, but it's actually 2 layers. Man, this is not focusing. It's 2 layers of tint, so the big purple ones come off, but then you've still got this underlying layer. Gonna work on taking some wheels off to get these refinished. Clear coat is shot on most of them. Got my stack of wheels ready to go to Express. This is going to be a complicated order. I'm basically going to have them refinish everything you see here and then pick the 5 best wheels to mount on my new Michelin tires. So we'll see how this goes. I'll probably get over there and drop them off later this week. And going to kill multiple birds with one stone. Also have an ILX wheel redone. This one got heavily curb checked. So nice to have a spare. We're gonna have that refinished while we're at it. It's dark out tonight, but that's not gonna keep me from doing a quick update since the car's back at the house. This has been bothering me for a year that I've owned the car. I've been missing the battery tie down. It's just a bracket that goes across here, and gonna get that installed now from a donor car. There we have it, much more complete. This SLX is putting in work. Oh yeah. By the way, I passed by this car a lot and I've actually gotten in touch with the owner. 90 automatic. Here we go. Leaving the wheels at Express. It's a good chance while I've got that seat out to clean up the remainder of this stuff on the side of the console. Looks like the e-brake knob got some grease on it. So before anything goes back together in here, probably gonna vacuum this too. Everything needs to be cleaned up first. Here's a subtle touch I added that only AccuLegend enthusiasts seem to notice, but this is they call it a beauty bar. It's a piece of plastic trim that runs between the headlights on the upper portion of the bumper, basically just to hide the mounting points there. And it's a subtle upgrade for this GS. Gonna do some refinishing on this little cowl piece so you can see some rust through. Gave the headlights a quick polish. Even though they were relatively new, they had just a slight amount of fogging, so some Meguiar's Plastex and a quick coat of the Carnauba wax brought those babies back to crystal clear. Touched up the windshield wipers again and just getting those reinstalled now that basically all the trim stuff is taken care of. I'm even detailing this jack before it goes back in its cubby hole in the trunk. That is looking pretty darn good, if I do say. Now, unfortunately, there was some stuff stacked in the center here, and there's no spare tire, so this centerpiece sagged. So what I'm gonna do is put my full-size spare in the car now and maybe some weight over the top of it to see if this piece of cardboard backing will kind of take its original shape. There we go. So I'll go ahead and leave the wheel here with a towel on it and then allow this cardboard piece to flatten out again, and then we should be good to go. That ought to do the trick. This is a very exciting occasion when you put the seats in for the first time. So, gonna bolt this thing up and scoot it back. I remember now when I removed it, I had it scooted all the way forward for easy access to the rear mounting points. So tomorrow I will finish with the real bolt-in components here. I just wanted to mock everything up. I did power test the passenger seat and everything there is working. It's not as multi-way adjustable as the driver's seat, so it's a little bit easier to connect. There's not as many harnesses underneath the seat, but I really need a lighting system out here. Anyway, a lot of progress today and I'm really excited. The closer this thing gets to being done, the more eager I am to see the finished product. One other thing I'm troubleshooting tonight is I have a brake light warning illuminated and I know my brakes are all lit. If you ever want to activate your brakes, just use a heavy gallon of coolant. Actually, I do have one that's not lighting up. Let's see what's going on with that bulb right there. That would explain it. Cleaning up these A-pillars a little bit with some wax. A little more custom fabrication work. There were a couple holes missing that I needed to slice through the carpet to get the back seat in, but the back rest portion is now installed. Now I'm hitting this with a little bit of conditioner, and then we'll call it a day for the seat reinstall. Got that bulb swapped out this morning and everything is good to go. 2057 took care of it. No brake lamp indicator showing up now, and we're getting closer. Here's a first glimpse of what this interior potentially will look like with the floor mat installed. Here's another easy one. The speaker grills on this car are really bad, frayed and tearing. This one's from a different car in quite a bit better shape, so I'm gonna swap that and also try and retouch this a little bit to clean up the blemishes there. Here's our disassembly process for the steering wheel. So this thing is getting sent off to Craft Customs. Use these guys a few times on refurbishing wheels, adding wood grain, and then we're gonna multitask by having the center console done at the same time. So everything on the interior will be coordinated with this, what they call in the brochure as burl wood. It's a glossy veneer basically. So here's the plan for my wood grain revamp. This wheel is going to get sent to Craft Customs here in the next week. And along with that, so it'll get wood grain added to the upper and lower portions. I've done this on a couple wheels previously. And then at the same time, this console needs a lot of love. You can see the reflection here, and the reason why there's a piece of tape there is it actually, some of the clear coat completely peeled off there, so that is holding a piece in. And what I'm gonna ask them to do is match the color to that ashtray. So the whole piece, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I did email and confirm that it's in their wheelhouse, so excited to see how this will turn out. Got the door panel off, just loose enough to access the little prongs that hold these speaker grills in. This is obviously the old one, and you can see the difference. This one's obviously not perfect, but I'm gonna peel off the Bose logo cover there in a second, and that will go here. Let's get this thing back installed. Way better. This is the product if anybody wants to try it. The Legend Type F is very similar to desert sand is what they call this. A little bit of an arts and crafts project here. I just left FedEx office here, and this is the airbox sticker that's known for Legend people to come off with time. The sticky back portion is completely worthless there. So I decided to get a little inventive like I've done in the past, and I had some copies made initially on just plain paper, and then we ran those through this laminator thing here that essentially laminates both sides but leaves a sticky back on the back side. So I just recreated this sticker. I'm gonna go apply it here shortly and we'll see how it turns out. Perfect. Door jamb cleanup earlier, and now I'm treating all the rubber and vinyl portions of the door weather stripping with a protectant to kind of give it a little bit of moisture. Well, the wheels are off. I'm taking the chance to clean up the wheel wells a little bit, especially the rubber and vinyl portions that can be pretty easily wiped down.